What's good, Money Squad? You ever scroll past those billionaire superyacht pics on Instagram and think, how much does that thing actually cost? Like we're talking the real numbers. Not just the sticker price, but the insane cash you gotta drop every single year just to keep that bad boy afloat. Well, buckle up, cause today we're diving headfirst into the crazy, wild, straight-up bonkers world of superyacht prices. And trust me, fam, what you're about to hear is gonna blow your mind. We're breaking down everything. The purchase price, annual costs, crew salaries, docking fees, insurance, fuel. Literally every dollar that goes into owning one of these floating palaces. Real quick before we dive in, have you ever dreamed of owning a yacht? Drop a comment below and tell me what size you'd go for. And if you want to see us drop more money breakdowns like this, mansions, private jets, supercars, smash that like button right now and let's get this party started. All right, let's get into it. Time to expose the real cost of living that billionaire life on the water. The sticker shock purchase prices. First things first, let's talk about what it actually costs to buy a superyacht. And yeah, we're about to throw some numbers at you that'll make your jaw hit the floor. So here's the deal. Superyachts aren't just expensive, they're generational wealth expensive. We're talking about boats that start at around $30 million and can shoot all the way up to over $1 billion with a capital B. Let's break this down by size so you can really see how wild it gets. Entry-level superyachts, 8,100 feet. These are your starter superyachts, and yeah, I'm using that term very loosely. We're looking at 6 to 20 million bucks. That's like buying 10 Ferraris just to get your feet wet in the yacht game. These babies usually sleep 6-10 guests, got some nice amenities, maybe a hot tub, jet skis, and enough space to throw a decent party. Mid-range beasts, 100-150 feet. Now we're getting serious. These bad boys run you anywhere from $20 million to $100 million. You're getting way more deck space, luxury interiors that look like they came straight out of a magazine, entertainment systems that rival movie theaters, and room for up to 12 guests. Think spa facilities, beach clubs, multiple decks. The whole 9 yards. Large superyachts, 150-200 feet. All right, now we're in serious baller territory. We're talking $100 million to $300 million just to own one of these monsters. At this level, you're getting gyms, full spas, multiple tenders. Those are the little boats that come off your big boat, water toy garages, and amenities that most 5-star hotels would be jealous of. Mega yachts, 200+ feet. And finally, we hit the absolute top tier, the mega yachts. These floating cities start at $300 million and can go all the way past $1 billion. Yeah, you heard that right. Like Roman Abramovich's Eclipse. That beast is valued at $1.5 billion. That's not a typo, fam. That's more money than most companies are worth. These mega yachts come with everything. Helipads for your private choppers, movie theaters with luxury seating, swimming pools that turn into dance floors, submarines for underwater exploration, and security systems that make James Bond jealous. We're talking anti-paparazzi lasers, bulletproof glass, the whole shebang. And here's the kicker. Newer yachts built after 2020 with all the latest tech and eco-friendly features. Those command even higher prices because everyone wants that cutting-edge stuff. AI-powered navigation, hydrogen fuel cells, smart systems that basically run the boat for you. But here's what nobody tells you, buying the yacht. That's literally just the beginning, the real money pit. That's what comes after you sign those papers. Let's get into it. The 10% rule, annual operating costs. All right, fam, here comes the part that separates the millionaires from the billionaires. There's this thing in the yacht world called the 10% rule. And nah, it's not some complicated math equation. It's actually super simple and super brutal. Basically, whatever you paid for your yacht, you gotta drop about 10% of that every single year just to keep it running. So if you copped a $100 million yacht, you're looking at $10 million annually in operating costs. That's not optional, fam. That's mandatory if you want to keep cruising. Let me paint you a picture with a real example. Say you buy yourself a nice 100-foot yacht for about 10 million bucks. You know, something modest by billionaire standards. Here's what your yearly budget's gonna look like. Crew salaries. This is the big one, y'all. You need people to actually run this thing. Captain, deckhands, engineers, chefs, stewards, the whole crew. For a 100-footer, you're dropping between $800,000 to almost $900,000 a year just on crew salaries. And that's for a smaller yacht. Bigger boats need way more people. Real talk, mega yachts with 200+ feet. They're rolling with 7,100 crew members. That's basically a small company's worth of staff just to make sure your champagne's cold and your sheets are pressed. The crew costs alone on those monsters can hit multiple millions per year. Fuel costs? Oh man, fuel is no joke. These yachts don't run on good vibes. They're guzzling diesel like it's going out of style. For that 100-footer, you're looking at $400,000 to $500,000 bucks annually just in fuel. And that's if you're cruising at a chill pace. Want to go faster? Want to cruise more often? That number shoots up. Azam, the world's longest private yacht at 590 feet, has a power plant pushing 94,000 horsepower. Yeah, you read that right. That thing's burning through fuel faster than you can say, fill her up. Docking and marina fees. You can't just park this thing anywhere. You need primo marina spots, and those cost serious cash. For a 100-foot yacht, annual docking can run you around $900,000. But here's the crazy part. Some luxury marinas in Monaco or Dubai, they charge $6,000 per night just for temporary docking. That's hotel-level pricing for a parking spot. Maintenance and repairs. Boats break down, fam. Salt water's brutal on everything. You got hull maintenance, engine servicing, interior upkeep, exterior detailing. All of it adds up to around $400,000 annually for a 100-footer. And if something major breaks, add another couple $100,000 to that bill real quick. Insurance? Oh, you gotta insure this baby. We're talking about a floating asset worth millions, so insurance companies are charging $350,000 to $400,000 per year for a 100-foot yacht. Bigger boats? That number goes way up. Some mega yachts are paying millions just in insurance. Registration and compliance. You gotta register your yacht somewhere, and smart owners pick tax-friendly spots like the Cayman Islands. Registration fees themselves are only like $2,500 to $5,000, but the legal work, compliance stuff, and ongoing fees, that adds up quick. Add all that up for a 100-foot yacht, and you're looking at about $1 million minimum per year. That's the small yacht experience, fam. But when you jump to those 500-plus foot mega yachts like Eclipse, annual operating costs hit $60 to $80 million every single year. That's more than most people will make in 10 lifetimes, and that's just to maintain the thing. Hidden costs nobody talks about. So we covered the obvious stuff. But there's a whole other layer of costs that yacht owners deal with that nobody ever mentions. These are the sneaky expenses that'll catch you slipping if you're not careful. Upgrades and refits. Technology moves fast, and yacht owners wanna stay ahead of the game. Roman Abramovich dropped $200 million on a refit for Eclipse in 2024 just to add hydrogen fuel cells and updated tech. That's a whole yacht's worth of money just for an upgrade. Most superyacht owners do major refits every 5–10 years, and those can cost 20–30% of the yacht's original value. So if you bought a $50 million yacht, expect to drop another $10 to $15 million eventually, just to keep it modern and fresh. Crew training and turnover. Your crew needs constant training, safety certifications, hospitality courses, technical skills. And when crew members leave, you gotta recruit and train new ones. That process costs tens of thousands per person, and it happens more often than you'd think. Provisioning and supplies. Every time you set sail, you gotta stock up. Food, drinks, toiletries, linens, cleaning supplies, all of it. For a week-long trip with guests, provisioning can easily hit $20,000 to $50,000. And if you're hosting a party with premium champagne and gourmet meals, double that. Communication and tech. Internet on the open ocean isn't free, fam. Satellite communication systems, high-speed internet, tech support, all of that runs into tens of thousands annually. Because let's be real, billionaires need their emails and Netflix even when they're 200 miles offshore. Emergency repairs. Stuff breaks at the worst times. Maybe you hit something in the water. Maybe a storm damages the hull. Emergency repairs in remote locations can run into hundreds of thousands fast because you're flying in specialists and parts on short notice. Event hosting. Want to throw a big party or host a business event on your yacht? You need event planners, extra catering staff, security, entertainment. The works. One night of serious partying can cost $50,000 to $100,000 easy. Environmental and compliance fees. Different countries have different rules. Some charge environmental fees for cruising in their waters. Others have strict waste disposal regulations. All of that costs money to comply with, and if you mess up, fines can be brutal. And here's one nobody thinks about: depreciation. Yachts lose value over time, just like cars. Except we're not talking about losing a few grand, we're talking millions. A brand new $50 million yacht might be worth $35 million after just 5 years. That's $15 million in value just gone. Poof. So when you add all these hidden costs on top of the regular operating expenses, yeah, that 10% rule is actually being generous. Real costs can hit 12–15% annually depending on how you use your yacht. Chartering Vs. Owning the smart money move. Now here's where it gets interesting, fam. A lot of smart yacht owners actually charter their boats out when they're not using them. And this is low-key genius. Here's how it works. You buy yourself a beautiful 150-foot superyacht for, let's say, $100 million. When you're not cruising on it, which, let's be real, is most of the year for most owners, You rent it out to other rich people for vacations. The charter rates are insane. Check this out. Small superyachts under 100 feet. These charter for $20,000 to $120,000 per week. Not bad for a boat you're not even using. Mid-range, 100-150 feet. These pull in $150,000 to $300,000 per week. Now we're talking serious income. Large yachts, 150-200 feet. $400,000 to $700,000 per week. That's approaching $1 million for just 7 days of someone else enjoying your yacht. Mega yachts, 200+ feet. These absolute monsters, over $1 million per week. Some of the most exclusive mega yachts in Monaco charge $1.8 million for a single week during peak season. So let's do the math real quick. If you charter your $100 million yacht for just 10 weeks out of the year at, say, 500 grand per week, that's $5 million in charter income. That covers like half your annual operating costs right there. But here's the catch. Charter guests put wear on your yacht. More maintenance, more cleaning, more potential damage. Plus, you need a bigger crew to handle charter operations, and you gotta pay the charter company their commission, usually 15–20%. Still, for owners who aren't using their yachts year-round, chartering is a no-brainer. It's basically the yacht paying for itself while you're doing other billionaire stuff. And for people who just want to experience the superyacht lifestyle without the commitment, chartering is the move. You get all the luxury, none of the headaches. Charter for a week, live like a king, then bounce. No maintenance, no crew management, no long-term costs, just pure vacation vibes. That's why the charter market is booming right now. It hit over $10 billion in 2025, and it's growing at over 6% annually. Everyone wants a piece of that yacht life, but not everyone wants the financial burden that comes with ownership. The billionaire perspective is worth it. All right, so we've thrown a lot of numbers at you. Let's bring it all home and talk about whether this whole superyacht thing is actually worth the money. From a pure financial standpoint, nah, it's not a good investment. Yachts depreciate, they cost millions to maintain, and unless you're chartering aggressively, they're just burning cash. You could take that $100 million and invest it literally anywhere else and make way more money. But, and this is a big but, for billionaires, it's not about ROI. It's about lifestyle. It's about privacy, freedom, and having your own floating sanctuary where you make the rules. Think about it, when you're worth multiple billions, spending 10 to 20 million a year on your yacht is like us spending a few $100 on a nice vacation. It's a drop in the bucket. And what you get in return? Priceless. You get to wake up to a different ocean view every day, host legendary parties with A-list celebrities, conduct business deals in total privacy, escape paparazzi and the public eye, travel the world on your schedule with your rules. That's the value proposition. Plus, there's the status factor. Owning a superyacht puts you in an elite club. We're talking less than 10,000 superyachts in the entire world. You're literally part of the 0.01% of the 1%. That kind of exclusivity, you can't put a price on it. And here's something wild. Some billionaires are actually using superyachts as their primary residence now. After COVID, a bunch of ultra-wealthy folks realized they could live on their yachts full-time, moving from country to country, avoiding lockdowns and restrictions. It's the ultimate freedom. Technology is also making yachts more appealing. New eco-friendly propulsion systems mean you can cruise with less guilt about your carbon footprint. AI navigation makes sailing safer and easier. Smart yacht systems let you control everything from your phone. It's like living in a high-tech floating mansion. So is it worth it? If you got the bread and you value experiences, privacy, and that ultimate luxury lifestyle, absolutely. But if you're thinking about it as a financial investment, nah fam, buy stocks instead. For the billionaires out there though, the question isn't can I afford it? It's why wouldn't I have one? When you're playing at that level, a superyacht is just another Tuesday. All right, Money Squad, that's the full breakdown. The real, raw, unfiltered truth about what superyachts actually cost. From that jaw-dropping purchase price to those yearly costs that never stop, we covered it all. Quick recap, we're talking millions just to buy one, then 10–15% of that every year to keep it floating. Crew, fuel, insurance, docking, maintenance, it all adds up to some seriously wild numbers. But for billionaires, it's the ultimate flex and the ultimate escape. So real question, would you rather own a superyacht or charter one for a week? Drop your answer in the comments cause I'm genuinely curious what y'all would choose. If this breakdown blew your mind, go ahead and destroy that like button. We're trying to hit 15K likes on this one. And subscribe if you want more money breakdowns like this. We're doing private jets next week, so you definitely don't want to miss that. Thanks for rolling with me through this insane world of superyacht costs. Remember, fam, dream big, stack your paper, and who knows, maybe one day you'll be dropping 100 mil on your own floating palace. Until next time, stay hustling and keep those money goals alive. Peace out, Yacht Squad.